Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 7 Soviet destroyer, Kiev. It has 6 main guns, 10 torpedoes, 16 AA guns, a surface detection of 8.7 kilometers, top speed 42.5 knots, total hull 15,800. For my modules, reduced crit chance on main battery and propulsion, better main battery accuracy, faster rudder shift. And for my commander, situation awareness, basic firing training, faster turret traverse, superintendent, and advanced firing training. We are on the map Fault Line, and this is an awesome game. I love this ship. I love these games. I hope you enjoy destroyers as much as I enjoy them. I know they're breakneck. They feel like it when you're playing them. They certainly take a special type of player to play it. Someone a little bit screwy in the head. It's completely fine taking fire from everyone on the enemy team as long as I get my torpedoes off or crazy stuff like that. I just love playing these. I love watching them. I love commentating them. We are headed up the east side, and we're detected. Has to be a destroyer. Can't be a cruiser. Can't be a battleship. Can't be an aircraft carrier. Maybe Japanese or US. And it's a Mutsuki. Okay. They have much better stealth than the Soviet destroyers. That is the weakness. But we can compensate for that, I think. He pops smoke, he sends out torpedoes, and easily avoided as long as you're just sailing with some understanding that a destroyer could potentially send out his torpedoes. One thing I would say, try to use narrow spread when you're trying to send them at a target. In this scenario, you have a better chance of hitting a target that's headed straight for you because there's not as many gaps to avoid. Widespread is very easy to avoid if you're going towards it. Widespread is fantastic when you're just trying to deny territory. Maybe there's a lot of ships and you're not really sure how you could hit them. That's really what widespread's for, not a target going straight at you. They just need to find a nice lane and avoid all of it. He hides in his smoke. Whenever the enemy pops his smoke, I also drop off because he was the only one able to detect me. Don't try and double up smoke. Whenever you see an enemy using smoke, and there's no enemies other than the target that just used smoke in range or in line of sight, you're going to drop off the radar. Whenever they're in the smoke, they rely on their team to spot you. So just let them use the smoke. Re-engage on your own terms, and we're detected. And initially I'm like, he must be on this right side. I'm just heading straight for the smoke. Maybe he's in it. You know, this is not a good strategy if I believed he was stationary, but I didn't think he was doing that. And of course, he is around the island. He sent out his torpedoes. I bet you he sent out his torpedoes. We missed with our first shot. We didn't lead quite as well. We hit the second shot. We caused incapacitation. Minor. He's not going to use damage control for that. I believe we might have taken out steering. He would potentially use it for that. Propulsion is knocked out. Definitely going to use it for that. And yes, he used it on steering. Now he is slower in the water. And we are doing massive damage to this guy. Can we kill him before he escapes? He's decided to hold fire. So he's going to drop off in a second or two. Whenever you see an enemy destroyer holding his fire with his main battery, he wants to drop off. He wants to re-engage on his own terms. And that's exactly what he does. He sent out torpedoes, but as long as we react appropriately, which we slow completely down and avoid them, they're no problem. So we know there's an enemy in the area, destroyer. There's an enemy Congo that appears to be headed towards us. Most of both teams are in the western side. Now, you tell me what this cruiser and battleship are doing at the 9 line. Where are you guys going? Go north, help the team. There's at least 2 friendlies that are already basically in the enemy's base. We can see most of the targets that could potentially be a threat. Get over here and help us. You're taking the longest route. Don't do that to your team. Try and get as fast as you can into an engagement with the enemy while remaining safe. Definitely try and keep the minimap information in mind. Count the number of enemy ships you see. see how many enemy ships have been destroyed, and try and optimize your travel time for your team. It's great that they're coming. I just wish they were here sooner. If they were to head north at the 8 line, they most likely would get here 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds faster than the chosen strategy that they ended up going. Now, I am going after this Mutsuki. He detects me. I know that. I don't detect him, but I do have an idea. I think he wants to try and meet up with his battleship buddy. So he's headed north, and he's trying to stay out of vision. I believe the Mutsuki's vision is 6.1 kilometers. I just need to be that close before he will automatically be detected. And I'm going to take advantage of the speed. Enemy battleship engages me, but they all hit the water, no damage, and we find him right at the edge. We engage him as soon as we see him. We fire an accurate salvo, and we're able to take him out just before the smoke takes effect. So that feels good. Able to land your first salvo on a target who needs to die. He sent out torpedoes, and we're maneuvering. It's going to be close, I think. We're, of course, engaging the Congo. We're very visible. There's nothing we could do. Might as well use the gun cooldown on him. We set him on fire, and he puts it out with damage control. The second set of torpedoes are coming. Just need to make sure we can move away from them. I figure at this point, my ship's fast enough. I'm just going to go across the torpedoes and completely move away. And it doesn't look like we do not set them on fire. But it's only going to be half a second. This island is nothing to a Soviet destroyer. We are so fast. We're looking for fires. Fires are just, oh, they're so strong. Spread those fires. And the rate of fire on, here's the first one. Spread those fires. The rate of fire on Soviet destroyers is extremely high. And try and get that HE to land on the superstructure. That's really where all the damage comes from. And he's not paying attention to us. He's engaging a friendly destroyer on their cap. I don't think I would do that. I think I would look to get ship kills right now. You're not going to successfully capture him. He dies. Especially if there's an enemy aircraft carrier on the enemy's team. That's a little scary for a destroyer. Easy to scout. Easy to stay safe while his allies kill you. We get 2 fires on the enemy Congo. We won it on the stern. Now, the stern's not easy to hit, but we're not getting the fires. And we have to be careful. There's enemy cruisers inbound. I can see at least 2 look like their intentions are to engage me and the friendly destroyer. And my allies are still traveling. It's halfway done in the game, and they haven't been in range to engage the enemy. Just use Google Maps and follow the directions. It'll get you there the fastest. It'll tell you if there's traffic problem. I promise you. And there's going to be traffic problem for me if I stay in the area. Too many cruisers are converging on my position and my friendly. We take fire from something, probably an enemy cruiser. We have to use damage control since it was a propulsion that was knocked out. We don't have last stand, remember. We're using advanced firing training. We can't risk taking and allowing ourselves to be dead in the water or steering to be knocked out, so damage control is a must. That cruiser's getting really close. We have to focus it. We can't allow it to fire on us without returning. It's an enemy Myoko. The enemy Myoko is a tier 7 Japanese cruiser. I love it. It's just barely under the Megami. And he's of course going to fire on our position. We're trying to land shots on him, but we're inaccurate. Come on, Notser, aim better. We get a fire with the first shot that makes contact. Can we get another fire? Fires are very costly for a cruiser. You want to kind of put it out. Yep, he puts it out. You want to kind of put it out. Unfortunately, the follow-up fire is not able to stick because he's immune, but now all fire should. You kind of want to put it out immediately because you don't have the heal. You can't really compensate like a battleship can. So any fire I get on a cruiser, I kind of want to follow it up and get another one, just so they're put in a position to burn. He fires on our position, and we're trying to angle our ship. And we're able to actually move closer to the enemy and avoid all the fire, and our AA guns are insane. They got a buff in the patch. Don't know if they needed that buff, but as I'm playing in the ship, I will not complain about the buff existing. Now, if I have to deal with it, that's another matter. I can't believe how easy it is to kill aircraft. It's really, really funny. In a sick sort of way. Oh man, we take a really good shot on steering. We have to use damage control, of course. We do have a fire on the enemy cruiser. And another enemy cruiser, the Atlanta, shows up. And you just need to be aware. Maneuver. Don't be overzealous on the damage. You will outlast him as long as you use angling and the ability of your ship to maneuver. And he's completely gone. He's in the smoke. We see him. We see him for half a second. We're not able to get an accuracy bonus on him. So there's 3 enemy cruisers all in the enemy's base. That friendly destroyer is dead. And the 2 ships, now only 1, are just about to be in range to actually engage the enemy. They appear to be taking damage, or the single ship, the single battleship, is taking damage from the enemy. I can use the health of the player even if he's not landing shots to my advantage. The cruisers are telling me exactly where they are, and I wouldn't normally be able to see them, but they're engaging the battleship. So we see there's a Cleveland, an Atlanta, a Miyoko. We're going to engage the Atlanta, see how well we do. Got to be very careful when you're engaging the Atlanta. You have a velocity advantage and a maneuverability advantage. As long as you stay relatively far away from him, you should easily take him down. We do set a fire on him, and you can see the massive arc. He's shooting up to the moon to try and get me. As long as we are moving, and we are fast too. And Atlanta is really hard to use when you're going after a target that is small and fast. It's like the worst thing ever. Plus, I'm very far away. So he is correctly deciding he doesn't want anything of this. He's going to move away, hopefully get out of my range, and allow his teammates to engage me. Enemy Cleveland, not looking at me. His guns are pointed south, probably on that battleship that is retreating. Don't know how much damage he's taken. We're just going to have to assume we're alone. We set fire to the Cleveland, and it looks like, yes, he puts it out with damage control. Now, he will be susceptible to more fires, and we're able to set a fire almost right as damage control's immunity falls off. And that's the perfect time for the flame to stick. It is the maximum potential burn time, and we get 2 burns. He's going to have to sit there and take all of that dot damage while we can very nearly maximize our ability to dodge the incoming fire. We're getting free damage. I choose to use damage control on my back gun because I'm not going to have my front guns. I'm trying to retreat from this Cleveland. Cleveland is terrifying for a destroyer. The Mogami is probably the one ship that I fear more. The Nuremberg is also very strong against destroyers. And we are on fire because we have no way of clearing it. And you can hear fires in binocular view. They sound like water is boiling. That's what it sounds like to me. So we're just cooking some food while we're firing on the Cleveland. We're right at the border, very close to it. I don't want to hit the border. I don't want to do that. And of course, we set 2 fires right as fires are put out. We're trying to not use the border to our benefit. I don't want to win this engagement because of that. And you can see the little warning to return to battle. And we're able to get Arsonist. Awesome. Now that's how I think the border should work. You should obviously try and avoid being on it, but if you are, it's fine to move off of it. I was trying to give as much ground as I could to kill him, and they were doing the correct strategy. They were trying to push me into the border so they could gain ground and engage me at a range that's easier for them. But I was just able to kill him before he got to that point. So this enemy, who was a meanie, this guy who took out my propulsion, about 10 minutes ago. I'm going to go after him. He tried to backstab me again. Don't blame him. I do the exact same thing. Now, I think he just sent out torpedoes. There were splashes in the water, and I don't think they're related to my guns. So I expect torpedoes in like 45 seconds or a minute. It's going to be a while, you know. Take a break. While the torpedoes are in the water moving towards me, we are going to try and kill them. We've got pretty good broadside. We're not leading as well as we should, and we're just not getting that superstructure damage. And the last shot, as he disappears around the island, sets him on fire. Have no idea what I hit, but okay, he's put it out. The dot is not actively working against him. We know it's down. The next fire kills him. He doesn't have enough health to sustain the fire damage. And here are the torpedoes, and we're able to avoid it. We slow down, and then we speed back up. The island is also hiding our position. We should be closer. It should be an easier shot. We should be able to kill him almost immediately whenever he is revealed to us. And here he is. Okay. Gonna fire. Elevate the gun. He's moving away. He adjusts his heading. For some reason, the elevation wasn't enough. But now he's coming into us. He's firing on our position. We are very neutral. This is a very narrow shot. And can we get another salvo? We get a fire. Oh no! He's gonna die to a fire. And he dies. 5 damage tick. Enemy torpedo bomber is coming towards me. I want to kill him. He is giving the enemy my exact location. So we're gonna try and sail right towards the enemy torpedo. Yeah, there we go. AA takes care of the job. There is the Congo that we engaged nearly at the beginning of the match. It's been so long since we've seen him. Is an enemy carrier, obviously, if we were just shooting down a torpedo bomber, and an enemy cruiser. I believe the Atlanta is the enemy cruiser, but nothing is in range. Yep, it is the Atlanta. He comes in range, and we're going to fire on him. We should be able to kill him in 1, maybe 2 salvos. Commander Green telling me not to die. Oh, Commander, don't worry. The enemy's the only one who's going to be doing the dying today. We take out the enemy Atlanta in the Congo. That isn't who I thought I was going to run into. I believed the carrier was south of this island, and I was going to assassinate him. He only had like 1,500 hit points. But now that it's a Congo, we are going to run away. I don't want anything of you. If I had more health, if I had the boost, I might sail directly towards him and do a joust with my torpedoes. But since I don't have any of that, I'm going to stay pretty neutral. I'm not going to maneuver that much unless I see him fire. I don't need to kill him. I would love to kill him, but there's only 1 minute, 10 seconds left. The Independence, oh, he's so juicy, but he's just too far away. He's behind the island. The Congo is the only option. He has 2 fires on his ship. I'm trying to get it on the bow of the ship, aiming a little bit forward of the ship. I'm not having the success I'd like. I want a fire on that bow. I'm just not getting it. So he hits me with a big sounding shot, but it does very little damage. The fires are out, and it's very unlikely they were both put out at the exact same moment. It has to be damage control. So he is susceptible to more fires, and we're going to try and do that. I do not believe anyone else is going to assist me in this damage. As much as I would love the assistance to be there, I'm going to have to make up this damage, and it just isn't going to work out. So this game turned into a pretty awesome scenario where I had to play very defensively and engage a lot of different targets using different information, the detectability of the ships, the speed of the ships. All this stuff is very important whenever you're considering whether you should engage a target or run away. And this was another example of pushing a flank very quickly, getting to the enemy base, and then defending the enemy base from the enemy. I do it in battleships, but a destroyer? 4 kills, high caliber, arsonist, 16 fires set? If we had that mission, we didn't though. 2,000 base XP, and over 110,000 points of damage. I hope you enjoyed this, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.